Hey everyone, this is Sindhuja Reddy of BTech second year, BVRIT College, Narsarika. So in this presentation, we will learn about bubble sort. Here, bubble sort is a simple sorting algorithm that repeatedly steps through the list, compares adjacent elements and swaps them if they are in wrong order. Here, in bubble sort, the each and every element is compared which their adjacent elements and swap them if they are in wrong order, which means if the second element is smaller than the first element or first element is greater than the second element. And the approach of bubble sort is one of the example of exchange sort. Here we will exchange the adjacent elements if they are in wrong order. So here the approach is like one of the example of the exchange sort, and it is a comparison based sorting algorithm because we'll compare the adjacent elements. Coming to the next slide, it is like how bubble sort works. The step-by-step process is like compare the first two elements. Here we will compare the first two elements of the given list of array and swap if the first is greater than the second. And if the first is not greater than the second, we'll move to the next pair and repeat the same process of comparing the elements. And we'll continue this until the largest element moves at the end. And repeat the same steps for the remaining elements in the given array. So coming to the next slide, here we have an example of bubble sort. Here the initially we have an element is like 5, 3, 8, 4, 6. This is the initial unsorted array. So the first step is we'll compare the first two elements. Here the first two elements are like 5 and 3. We'll compare both of them. Here the first element is greater than the second element. So we will swap them. We'll swap like 3 and 5 will get. Now we'll compare the next two elements. They are like 5 and 8. Here the 5 is smaller than the second element, which is 8. So here we won't swap. And coming to the next step. So here we have 8 and 4. We'll compare them. 4 is smaller than 8. So we will swap them. And the next is like 8 and 6. We'll compare them. And here 6 is smaller than the 8. So we'll swap them, and we will repeat these steps 1 to 5 until no more swaps are required, which means until the array is sorted. So coming to the next slide, we have time and space complexities of the bubble sort. Here the best, which means already sorted array time complexity is like big of n, and the average case time complexity is like big of n square, and the worst case is also big of n square, and the space complexity is like big of n. And the bubble sort is a stable sorting algorithm. So coming to the next slide, we have applications of bubble sort. Here in educational use, we will use the bubble sort, which means these bubble sort is commonly taught in introductory computer science courses to explain the sorting logic. So coming to the small data sets, these are used when data size is small and simplicity is more important than efficiency. And next is like performance relatively well. If the array is almost sorted, we can use this bubble sort if the array is almost sorted. And next is like sometimes used where resources are limited and data sets are tiny. When the resources we have is very limited and we have a very small or tiny data set, we can use this bubble sort. And it is very simple and easy to implement and works best for the small data sets. So, in this slide, we will know about advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are like it is very simple to understand and implement, and it requires no extra memory. And the disadvantages are like it is very slow for large data sets, which means if you have a very large data sets, we have to compare the each and every adjacent elements, which is very time consuming. So, and the next one is like inefficient compared to modern sorting algorithms. So, in modern sorting algorithms, we have more efficiency than this bubble sort. So, that's all for this presentation. Thank you for listening.